Senator Scott.
First, I want to thank each of you for being here. Thanks for your service. I also want to thank President Trump for doing everything he can to create some stability in California. It's really, I want to thank him for calling up the California National Guard and for having the Marines ready. It's disappointing that the governor of California and the mayor of Los Angeles is not as focused on the security of the citizens as our president is. Secretary Phelan, thank you for being here. During your confirmation hearing, you'll probably remember I showed you a picture of a rusty ship pulling into shore as an example of the ways the Navy has fallen behind during the Biden's term. I know you've made this a priority to get this fixed. I want to thank you for everything you're doing. Can you, well, let me give you some more facts. In the last 5 years, the Navy has taken delivery of 41 ships. Only 4 were delivered on time and on budget. So 4 were delivered on time and on budget. That's like under 10%. So you're a business guy. Both of us, if we had a 10% success rate, we wouldn't have been in business very long, and we wouldn't accept that from anybody that ever worked for us. So for Secretary Phelan and Admiral Kilby, can you give us, like, what are your top 3 things, each of you, that's going to improve the accountability of our shipbuilding? Whoever wants to go first.
Hey, sir, thanks for the question. One, I think the top 3 things we need to do is get the workforce right and stable. I agree with Secretary Phelan that we need an experienced workforce. We're seeing challenges at multiple yards, whether they're repair or shipyards. 2, for repair, we need to manage the package size so we can get it done in the time needed. Our delays are called in ship repair are caused by growth work, which means we discover something after the fact in the avail has begun. So I alluded earlier about doing those open inspects earlier, definitizing the package, and costing it out to do that work and not hope that we don't have to do those work. And then finally, I think there's some opportunities in the sparing accounts to do a better job, to have our parts available and ready when we need to do the avail, so we don't have a growth work because we're waiting for a part that's not readily available.
Secretary, you want to add anything?
Yeah, look, I think, Senator, what I've seen in 72 days here is we've got a big problem, and the problem is the following. Number one, we have underinvested in our infrastructure. We've underinvested in our maintenance. We've been maintaining ships at 50, 60% maintenance, which is not good. The bills for prior conflicts is where we've spent a lot of money. And that all those deferrals, all that underinvestment is coming due. So we have a very, very tough job in front of us in terms of trying to figure out how to appropriately allocate capital to these different areas. As it relates to shipbuilding, we do not have the capacity to handle the ships that we need to build today. Okay, and so we need to put all options on the table, because I think I bucket it in kind of 2 ways. There's short term, which is how do I get hulls in the water? How do I get them out of the yard? And then long term, how do I get this maritime industrial base growing? We probably need to add shipyards. We need to bring in expertise. We need to digitize a number of things and add technology to things. When I went to the foreign yards, again, I saw things that were far more advanced than what we were doing, and we need to start to implement those and add those. So
one thing, if you could do, is just as early as you can, give us a timeline of when you can do these things. So let me ask you one other thing. So I know we've talked about some of the issues the Navy's dealing with, and so the Marines and the Air Force are 100% recapitalized on their C130s. The Navy needs over 30 C130s, and unfortunately, they yet to have a program for this critical tactical airlift platform. I think they only have 1 on contract. So first, General Smith, how important are the C-130s for the Marine Corps and Joint Forces?
Senator, the C-130 is a workhorse. It's vital to be able to provide us organic mobility throughout the first island chain and globally. It's got global reach.
Okay, so Admiral Kilby and Secretary Phelan, tell me, is this a priority? And if it is, what's the timeline?
So it is a priority for the Navy. It's competing with a lot of other priorities. I'd say 50% of our C-130 fleet are C-130Ts, and then the other 50% are KC-130Js refueling. So it provides flexibility for us and is helpful for us kind of in that Pacific logistics challenge, but we are challenged with a lot of priorities, sir.
Will you be able to come back at some point and say, we got all these priorities, this is the list, this is when we're going to do, we're going to break these down one at a time, and this is how we're going to solve them? That would be helpful.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, Chairman.